Hello children, today we will be doing with the third video, that is on the topic active and passive voice. In the first two videos, we saw what is an active voice and how to convert sentences from active voice to passive voice in the present tense, the different types of present tense. Today in this video, we will be doing how to convert a sentence in the past tense, that is the different types of past tense, how to convert it from active voice to passive voice. Now let's take the same example what we had taken in the present tense. The verb was the word bake. We had taken the word bake, isn't it? Now how does the verb bake changes in the active voice and in the passive voice? When it is in simple past tense, the word is baked. We have added the word D to it. And in the passive voice, it changes to was or were baked. In the past continuous tense, the word is was or were baking, and the passive form, it is was or were being baked. In the same way, in the past perfect, it is had baked, and in the passive voice, had been baked. And this past perfect continuous tense has no passive form. Please remember this, that the past perfect continuous tense, there is no passive form. We studied in present tense also. In present perfect continuous tense, there is no passive form. Now let's discuss this four one by one. Okay. Let's take the first one, that is simple past tense. So we know the simple past tense. The simple past tense of a word, how do we make it? We add D, ED or IED, or generally we have a normal past tense form of a verb, isn't it? You know that, we have studied that in the tenses. So in active voice, it is the past tense of the verb. For example, if the word is fly, if you have taken the normal word as fly, the past tense is simple past is flew. And the passive voice, it becomes was or were plus past participle form of the verb. Past participle is flown. So fly, flew and flown. So this is the rule. This is the rule which you should know in simple past tense, that is you add was or were and you use the past participle form of the given verb. Let's do it with one or two examples. Now let's see the first example given here. The first example is the driver immediately applied the brakes. This is the past tense. Applied the brake. So what does the rule say? We have to add was or were plus the past participle form of the verb. The brakes were immediately applied. The word immediately is already given here. The brakes were immediately applied by the driver. And how will you convert it in an interrogative form? Did you receive my letter in time? This is the past tense. Did you receive my letter in time? And this is the verb. So how do you did is the past tense. They have taken the root word as a receive. So was my letter received by you in time. So was or were plus the past participle form of the verb. Okay. Next is who organized the function. So if it is who organized the function, this is the past tense. So how do we write it? By whom was the function organized? So you see was is here and the past participle form of the word. So who has become whom here. We have added the word M. So who has become whom here. By whom was the function organized. When you take out your textbook and come to the H exercise, simple past tense, some textual exercise is given there. In that the H1, the first one I have written, the event dashed by a popular brand of fast food. The word is sponsor. The rule says was or were plus past participle form of the verb. So the event was sponsored. So already the word is given as sponsor, root verb is given, was sponsored. Okay. And the next one, she dashed to clean the house properly. The verb is tell. So here we will say she was told. She was told to organize, to clean the house properly. And the first one, the event was sponsored by a popular brand of fast food. Second one, she was told to clean the house properly. So you have to add was or were plus the past participle form of the verb. Now in exercise I, there are some more words. Let's see. The artist showcased the paintings at the art gallery. The next exercise, the paintings at the art gallery. So this is the simple past form, were showcased by the artists. Okay, so you have to add the word was or were plus the past participle form of the verb. That is a rule in simple past tense. You have to do exercise H and exercise I, children. Now we move on to the next one. So we did simple past tense. Let's see what is the rule in past continuous tense. So in active voice, was or were, we generally use the ing form of the verb. Whenever the word continuous comes, we use the ing form of the verb, isn't it? In passive voice, was or were is there. An extra word is introduced, that is being. Was or were plus being plus again the past participle form of the verb. Is it clear? This has to be remembered by you. What is the rule, children? It is was or were plus being plus past participle form of the verb. Let's see a few examples. The first one is, all of us were cheering our team. So were cheering, this is in past continuous form, isn't it? So how will you make it into passive voice? This is active voice. So how to make it into passive voice? Our team was being cheered. An extra word is added. Cheering has become cheered. That is the past participle form. Our team was being cheered by all of us. Now in the interrogative form, again this is the active voice and the passive voice. Were the artists rehearsing the play? This is an interrogative sentence, and when you convert it into passive voice, was the play being rehearsed by the artists? Was, it comes to the beginning of the sentence as it is an interrogative sentence. Was the play being rehearsed by the artists? Now when you come to your textual exercise, exercise J, the audience was laughing at the clown. You can see was laughing is past continuous. And how will you convert it into passive voice? This is active voice, and the passive form, the clown was being laughed. So laughed at will come, laughing at, the clown was being laughed at by the audience. And again in the interrogative form, it's your text exercise, children. Were you painting the door? So were and painting. So only one door, the door, that is only here. We are talking about one door only. If it would have been more than one door, then it would change. Was the door, as it is one door, so we have written was the door being painted by you. Was and painted. If it would have been were you painting the doors? If it would have been painting the doors, that means plural. So here it will be were the doors being painted by you. Is it clear, children? Now we move on to the next topic. So you have done simple past, past continuous. Now we will do the next one, that is past perfect tense. Do you know what is the rule for past perfect tense? We use had plus the past participle form in the general tense, isn't it? Now in the active voice, if it is had plus the past participle form of the verb, when you convert it into passive voice, it is had been. One extra word been is added here. Had been plus the past participle form of the verb. So this is the rule. You are expected to learn this by heart. These rules are very important, children. When you have to convert from active voice to passive voice, you should know these rules. Now a few examples. The first one, my father had already purchased the tickets. So my father had purchased, this is the past perfect form, isn't it? I have added one more word here, already purchased. So this is the active form. When you write it into passive form, the tickets had been purchased. Because you have used the word already, you will say the tickets had already been purchased by my father. You can see the extra word been is added here. The second example, it's of an interrogative sentence. Had you taken all the precautions? Had you taken all the precautions? And this is active form. When you write it into passive form, had all the precautions been taken? Can you see the word been is here? Had all the precautions been taken by you? Now some exercises from examples or some questions from exercise K. The woodcutter had felled many trees. Had felled, this is perfect. What do you mean by felled? Felled means he had cut down a number of trees. The word felled means cut. So many trees had been felled by the woodcutter in the forest. So again extra word been comes, and when you come to your past perfect continuous tense, remember children, there is no passive form for past perfect continuous tense. Clear? There is no passive form for the past perfect continuous tense. So you should be able to do the exercises H, I, J, K. Till K you should be able to do the exercises given in the textbook. Thank you children.